Hello, welcome back to the channel and thanks for stopping by. You'll see we've got a slightly different setup initially here, and that's because we're going to do an unboxing to start with. However, it's not a pedal unboxing, so we're not going to come over to the cam. We're all going to be here unboxing it, and rather than set the mic up and have to move that, I'm just holding it for the moment, so it's a little bit like I'm playing a gig without my guitar and all that stuff. But what are we unboxing today? Well, we've got a parcel from our friends over at Anderton's. I say friends like they know me, who I am, etc. like that, even though just coincidentally I am wearing one of their t-shirts today. They have no idea who I am. This is not a sponsored video, and I got one of these because I wanted one. So what I'm going to do is I will put the microphone down and we'll unbox this, see what we got.
I'm sitting down here just staring at the phone, waiting for a call to get my life on the rails. There's a place down in hell, it's just up for sale. Cause there's love inside, I'm letting it out tonight. And there's a knife in my hand, it's breaking our heartstrings tonight.
So, here we are, very quick unboxing, and what have we got here? Well, it's one of the new 1x12 cabs from Victory Amplifiers. This particular one is the Kraken 112, so the Kraken 1x12 Lunchbox cab. Why did I go for the Kraken one? Well, the Kraken is the amp the amp head that I use the most, especially gigging with DeMappe and bits and pieces like that. So it just made sense for the colours to match up in that aspect. However, I believe that the whole range currently have the same speaker in it. It is just the aesthetic that changes depending on whether you get this one or the Jack or the Duchess, etc. So yeah, there's no change in speaker as opposed to previous iterations of the 1x12, 2x12. I'm not sure about the 4x12. So I know what you're asking, Doug, why have you bought one of these when you have two lovely 1x12s, also by Victory, and a 1x12 and a 2x12 here, also by Victory? Well, there's a couple of reasons why, and I don't think we're going to kid ourselves. As with gear and wanting to buy more, the main reason was I wanted one, thought they looked cool, so I bought one. The next reason is I gig a lot. I would like to gig more, so if anybody's interested, hit me up. But I gig a lot, do a lot of driving, do a lot of lifting, load-ins, all that fun stuff, because I am stubborn and I don't want to go down the digital route quite yet. So when Victory announced that there was a new lightweight, space-saving cab coming out, absolutely, I am going to pick one of these up, especially when it's £349, which I think if you look at the oversized 1x12s from Victory, currently you're looking at £600 or £700 now. So in my eyes, it's great value to get a small, more lightweight. I think it's about half the weight of the current or my old 1x12s. I think it looks great. I think it's going to fit the lunchbox aesthetic really well as well. So they're the main reasons that I've picked one of these up. Going into real detail, I've recently been pondering the potential of actually switching out one of the speakers in my 2x12, which is loaded with creambacks. All of my cabs are loaded with creambacks, just like the way that they sound, especially on single coils. And so I thought, well, you know what, rather than spend the 150 quid and, you know, bastardizing my 2x12, I'll pick one of these up, get to make a video, get to do a comparison, which is what we're going to move on to shortly. And I've seen some comments online about the speaker in these. I'll put the model up on screen now because I have forgotten right now that it's not a great speaker. If that's the case, well, I'll spend the 120 quid on that and maintain this lightweight, real estate saving cab. So they're the reasons that I've got one. As I said, what we're now going to do is I'm going to get this cab plugged in, and I'm going to get one of the other cabs plugged in. We'll run them both off the same head. We'll get them mic'd up, and we'll get it potentially a little bit of baffling, just to ensure that there's no phase or anything like that. And we'll compare them. We'll compare the old 1x12 with the new 1x12, and see how they sound. Is there a big difference? Is there is one better than the other, or is it just a different cab? that I'm then going to have in my arsenal. I think without further ado, what we'll do is we'll now move on to the comparison. However, before we do, very quick bit of housekeeping, which I should have done a wee while ago. Do not forget to hit the like and maybe even the subscribe button, and let me know what you thought of the new cab in the comments below. Maybe you've also picked one up, or maybe you're thinking of picking one up, and this video will help you in the final decision of whether you do or not. The chapters will be below, so please feel free just to jump around and enjoy your stay. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll make sure you can see where the tones are, the unboxing, my waffling and all of that stuff, so you can just enjoy your stay. But other than that, I think we'll move on, and next time you see me, these will all be mic'd up, nice, couple of 57s, and we'll have a comparison and see how they sound. So I'm going to pick up the Gibson LP DC, I think. Yeah, I'll go for the custom shop, the nice P90s, straight in, and we'll start the comparison and see how these two sound. I just very quickly want to reference why I'm holding the microphone this time. I think I started the video like this, so I felt that I should finish the video like this. But I can guarantee I won't be doing any more of these because my arm is tired. So we've listened to the cabs, and I've gone back and had a wee listen myself as well. Made some notes from what I can audibly pick up. I do not have the greatest ears in the world. I know what I like and I know what I don't like, but I'm not able to pick out those frequencies or those real subtle nuances. So you at home may pick up other things that I haven't today. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just what I can hear with my speakers. I also appreciate that actually these may start to really show their true colours at a greater volume, and that we are playing these quite quietly. So I am bearing all of that in mind when I make these, and this is most certainly not a final judgment on whether it's better or whether it's worse or whether one is superior to the other. It's just what I can hear. I'm also going to relate to them as input 3 and input 4, just to ensure that I'm not influencing anyone's bias. I know what they are at this point, but at the moment I'll say I'll go input 3, input 4, and then maybe I'll reveal which one is which right at the end. And I should probably also double check that. But yeah, so the first thing that I found is input 3 felt flatter. It felt like the response was a flatter response. You may also look at that as there's a rolled off high end to the tone. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I don't think this is necessarily a good thing. It's a little bit like having a flat set of monitors at home or in-ear monitors, which I find are quite a flat response. It really means that the EQing, to me personally, the EQing of your sound is going to come from how you EQ your amp and how you EQ your pedals. So if it's slightly flatter, and I want to have a little more bass in there, I'll ensure that I'll be boosting the bass, or vice versa. I'll be cutting some of the treble. I don't think the flat response is a bad thing. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's just a different sounding speaker, and it's something that can certainly be compensated with or compensated for. So that was my first thing. The other thing I would have said about input 3 is it's honkier. Now that again might be more of the roller. Maybe it was a boxier, flatter response compared to input 4 that seemed to have a little more of a pronounced low end as well as a pronounced high end. So they're my initial thoughts on input 4. It had a pronounced or tighter bottom end, and then I could really hear the high end, not the fizz, not a sizzle. It was there, and that was quite nice. That was it was a nice full rich sound. Then the other thing that I thought I know is that input 4, the speaker for input 4 was definitely louder. As I said, the gains were the same, but you will probably be able to hear an audible difference depending on what the mastering does to this between the two speakers. Is certainly input 4 is louder than input 3. So they were my two thought, or my 3 or 4 takeaways initially from this. Again, there's not one thing that says I'm only going to use this amp live from now. No, I've got a gig tonight, and I'm probably still going to take the old 1x12 just because I'm not 100% convinced. I just need to play with this at some level of anger. Whereas I know how my 1x12 sounds, so I'll probably take those two rather than the new one. However, it depends how I feel at 7 o'clock tonight. If I'm really tired, I'm picking up that because it's half the weight. But anyway, they were my initial thoughts on the new Victory. This one is the Kraken, the LB1112 cab in comparison to the old 1112 with a creamback G12 65 speaker in it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are still here, thank you so much. I think this has been far longer than I intended. Please don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, and please let me know what you thought of the new speaker in the comments below. I will be reading and seeing what people's thoughts are on these, because I am quite I'm quite curious after seeing some of the comments online of what the general view or thoughts of this new line of speakers is. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and until the next one, take care.